Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NCW, also known as New Comic Wednesday. If you haven't been with us before, we chat for a few minutes every Wednesday about Zenescope's newest releases. If you don't know who I am your NCW host, Amber, and it's very sunny here today. I am currently in Connecticut. Actually, it's really gloomy, but it's sunny on the stream because we will be talking about today's swimsuit edition. I'm going to be bringing on our own publisher, Dave Franchini, in just a moment. But as always, I'll run through the normal normies intro that happens every NCW. So to hear about Zenescope's newest releases, so you never miss a new release, etc. So actually, let me backtrack. To hear about Zenescope's newest releases, you would head to zenescope.com, press new releases, and it will show you everything that's been released and then backwards of anything previously released. So you can get to our web store right now. You can also go to your local comic shop, or you can find us on Comixology. On top of that, if you never want to miss information about our latest releases, because I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m., make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So press that notification bell, subscribe, either like our Facebook page, like our Twitter page, like our YouTube page, whatever it takes to do for you to continuously see wonderful videos of me on Wednesday every 3 o'clock to talk about Zenescope's newest releases, on top of also seeing our other streams like our VCons, our Coffee with Casey and Noah on Mondays at 1 p.m., our movie club, our retailer live streams like the one we had yesterday, etc. So other people can find out about Zenescope's newest releases. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you react any way possible to this post, comment, etc. I can also read the comics, so I always say hi. Hi, everybody. Today, we'll only be talking about one new release, and it is not our typical release. It is our swimsuit release. And I swear last year I asked Dave how often these come out, and Dave told me it was every other year. And now I'm telling you there's back-to-back years. So I have a bone to pick with Dave on this stream, but that's fine. We'll be talking about Grimm Fairy Tales 2022 Swimsuit Special, currently $5.99 in our web store, written by Dave Franchini, with wonderful covers. So I'm going to bring Dave on to talk about our covers really fast, because that's going to be a focal point of the story, but also to gripe my bone about how he lied to me. Anything to defend yourself, Dave?
I didn't lie. I just, at the time, that's what was the truth. Things change.
So now we do one every year, but before we used to do one every other year?
We did one this year. I'm not going to say we're going to, I can't tell you today that we're going to do one every year, but this year we plan to do 4 pinup books. So we did it. We did one quarterly. So we did the swimsuit. We did the May the 4th, the month before that was ending that quarter. And then we're going to do a horror pinup book later in the year, and then a holiday pinup book. So so we're going to do 4 this year. So depending on like the way they've been selling like crazy. So we're probably going to do them every year.
Lied to me.
But I'm not guaranteeing that they're going to be every year. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe every 4 years. I don't know. Check back next year. And around this time.
What is really special about the Grimm Fairy Tales swimsuit edition is that we get to do 4 covers, but on top of the 4 covers we also have multiple covers really inside the book, because they're all pinups of our most popular characters. Yeah, was there a swimsuit for Zodiac or Death Force? Question for a friend.
Not this year. But
was there ever?
Like a swimsuit? I mean, not of those characters. I gotta figure out how to put them in there. I mean, they both wear full outfits all the time. One of them is like partially dead. We'll see. We'll see what we can do.
What about Shang? Could he have a swimsuit?
That would be, at that point, it would sell out too quick. It wouldn't be fair to the fans if we made Shang in the swimsuit.
Well, while we have Dave on, he hates this, but let's run through the covers really fast.
I don't hate it.
I can see his reaction to things. Here is cover A. Oh, she's gonna, this is
D.
B, C, D. Okay, so in cover A, we have Robin. In cover B, we have Van Helsing. In cover C, we have Carries. In cover D, we have Gretel.
What?
What do you think, Dave, about these said covers?
They each have their own unique beauty to them, and I love them all equally.
Everybody comment, let us know what your favorite cover is. It's fun how you're right. I think we're getting a couple of different vibes in daytime on these covers. So it looks like cover D is that sunset or is it sunrise?
That is a painted backdrop. She's actually inside. She doesn't want anybody to know where she is. This is Gretel, and she doesn't want to alert the witches. Nah.
So it's not sunset or sunrise. It's a fake.
It looks like sunset to me. It looks like sunset there.
It's weird because I feel like the sun in cover C kind of looks like it could also be sunset, but it looks much brighter where the water is, but the sun itself.
Well, it almost looks like the way they are. It almost looks like the time of day is changing throughout all four covers.
Yeah.
By accident. It looks like it's like, oh, it's the morning, sun's rising, there's some clouds, then the sun's like up there, and then it's setting, and then it's coming down.
What's cool too, and I guess I never really noticed before, but maybe you can speak more to it, is you notice how on cover A and cover C, it says the 2022 Swimsuit Special at the bottom, and then in cover B and cover D, it's on opposite sides. Why would you pick it that way?
I didn't pick it that way. It's what Chris does with the design work. Oh. It's because of the objects on the cover. Like, just because he didn't want to cover up the sun behind Karis on cover C, and then he doesn't want to cover up the bow on cover A. So you don't want to squeeze it in the corner on the tree. So it was just more for like placement, so you didn't like draw away from all the objects on the cover.
This is only thing that an art director would know. I would wonder why it happened that way, but you're right. I mean, if you cover Robin's bow, you've covered, a really priority part of this cover.
Yeah, and if you put it on the tree part, it would be like too tight in there where it would feel really crowded next to her head and the tree and all that stuff. So Chris has got his eye on this stuff. That's why he is the director of art. But no, yeah, I didn't even really I don't see the covers like side by side like this like until now. So it's like I didn't even realize this stuff until you show it. Like we go through and we print them, but I'm like, I kind of just trust Chris and kind of be like, yeah, this makes sense. And now that I see him, like I definitely understand why.
Yeah, no, I think that's something really great that Casey added to NCW is showing us all the covers at one time, because then you have the opportunity to see everything. And
you can get my vote now because I can be like, I like that one.
Dave, what's your vote?
That one.
I don't know where you pointed.
This is perfect. I love this.
Okay, so yes, these are our 4 wonderful covers today. In case you don't know, our swimsuit special really does focus on covers. So there is a mini short story, which we will talk about in a second, but really it is showcasing all of our most popular characters in, their swimwear. So
it's 8 older, like repurposed covers, and then it's 20 brand new pinups inside of it.
It's so funny because I was going to talk to you about it. I'm like, oh, I noticed that there were covers from last year, or like I've flipped through other ones. Like, it's just funny how I saw them in there. And I don't know if you really do that to, re-highlight the art. Like, what is the thought?
It's a little bit because like a lot of times those covers sell out or people don't get to see them. So it's basically so they don't get buried in the archives of our covers, because we do so many covers. So it's more just to kind of just highlight like those covers and make sure they're out there and collected instead of just cover form. So now we have them in like almost like a cover gallery, like that we can always draw from. We can always pull it from that. And it's really just for that. We never want to, we haven't done it yet, knock on some kind of wood here, but like, we don't want to repeat anything in these pinup covers that were in a previous pinup book.
I was actually going to ask this question, or something of the sort. Thank you, Wall, for hopping in. But who decides if they're wearing like a 2-piece or a 1-piece, or is that like almost completely up to the artist?
I'm a really good Googler. I'm a good Googler, and that's probably my number one talent is Googling. No, it's really, and a lot of it's down to the artist. Like I'll find references of like poses and scenes and stuff like that. Like the way I'll send them to the artist is like I'll pull a bunch of references for like specific like swimsuits that I think match that character's personality. Like I'll pull like I spend literally like an hour pulling nothing but swimsuit references. Then I go through and I'll match them to the characters. Like, all right, that character would wear something like this. And then I pull 20 like destinations. And then I send it to the artist and they kind of like take it and they mash the art, the character with the swimsuit and the setting. Like they take it and they really run with it and make it a lot better than what I just sent them. I'm just like, here's a bunch of stuff, put it together, make it pretty. And then they're like, okay, cool. Thanks for nothing.
So I'm going to read the synopsis really quick, but then I'm going to hop in actually to ask a question about what you just talked about. So just in time for summer comes the Grimm Fairy Tales 2022 Swimsuit Special. Get ready to check out all of your favorite Grimm universe heroines and villainesses, soaking up the sun while wearing the season's hottest swimsuit fashions. Many of the industry's top artists contribute gorgeous pinups of the Grimm universe's most popular female characters in this stunning collection. Also includes a never-before-published Grimm Fairy Tales short story. So you said just moments ago, although can I trust what you're saying? I was only supposed to get one and every other 2020.
I don't even trust my own words to myself, so I wouldn't.
So I don't really know anymore. But I thought something was really cool in the book is that you put destinations. How did you pick the destinations that you were going to use for the story?
It's same thing. It's like I Google like top destinations and things like that, and I find things that I think look really cool and places. And it's really depressing because I'll pull the references for this stuff like in February. So like I feel miserable, like where it's like cold out and it's like I'm looking at all these sunny like destinations. But that's it too. Like I mean, it's always been like that. I think Ralph started it back when we did the first couple where they would actually put destinations where they're at, and I wanted to keep that going. And that's really just all it ever is. Like sometimes we'll throw in like destinations that aren't real world things. Like we had Mercy Dante in the Inferno, and she's just sitting by a lava pool. Like things like that are kind of fun. Or you throw like the Snow Queen in Alaska with polar bears in the background. But I mean, yeah, again, it's the same thing. It's just looking up cool destinations that I haven't seen before that I put on my bucket list to one day hopefully visit and never get to. So that's the reality of it.
Lives through. Well, I have a couple of fan questions. So I'm first going to highlight, let's just talk about Antonio really quick. So Antonio, I didn't bring it on because I had to travel to Norwalk, but at AwesomeCon, Antonio came by our booth and he brought me, I was very excited, Dallas replica Super Bowl rings. So I have a case of them. There's 5 of them. And he got Jason and Eagles one, but I have 5. He only has 1. So we were laughing about it. But Antonio is wondering if there are any staff guest appearances in this issue, because if you didn't know, fun fact, the swimsuit edition from last year featured myself and Chris Sampson talking about Flyer, and Gretel made her appearance as well.
No, there wasn't any staff appearances in this, but now I'm seeing my regret and my mistake that we didn't put any of the VIP appearances in this. Now I see that. So we're gonna, if you guys buy them, bring them back. We're gonna burn them all. We're gonna reprint this with just nothing. No, I mean like there's nobody that we know. I mean that I know personally that is in this book besides the weird.
How do you know? I mean, I don't want to give away the story. We'll talk about the story in a second, but I could be the girl floating on the floaty.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it was just. I don't know. There might have been a time gap. This might have been like an old story of you. I don't know. Could have been how you came to be at Zenescope. Is this
story? This is the prequel. So what is the story about?
It's about the ocean and the creepiness of the ocean, which is like honestly probably I think the scariest thing on the planet is that we don't know what's at the bottom of our ocean. We don't know what we could find. Like when those tsunamis hit like years ago, they found over like 200 different species of fish we never knew existed. And like they always find creatures that don't need sunlight to live. So like this is like that. Like this is like all the creepiness and the fears are there of what this is. And this is what I think about when you go in the ocean and your feet don't touch the thing and it starts getting cold when you're in the water and it gets cold because the sun don't hit anymore. That's what I think of. This story is what I think of when the water gets too cold on your feet.
Well, Antonio is convinced that there's plastic at the bottom of the ocean, which is probably true. But he also says that we can draw stick figures into his story. So if you want an appearance of Casey and Noah swimming on a boat, we can draw that in for you.
We'll put you guys on like a cave painting. Like there's little like cave paintings and it just says like coffee with Casey and Noah, but it's from like the year like 10. I like it.
Okay, so Robert I quick gripe with Robert. I love Robert. His profile picture was a picture of this car signed by me for so long, and now it's gone. But anyway, do you use any Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues for ideas?
No, I mean, I think that was the original concept of it, was that. But I mean, since then, I didn't realize this, like, Sports Illustrated still made swimsuit issues. I'm assuming they did, but I don't know. I haven't bought a magazine or looked at a magazine in forever. So, like, no, it's really just like, weirdly enough, I know all the 2022 fashions for swimsuits this year. That's basically what I'll look up, is like swimsuit fashions and pinups and things like that to kind of keep it relevant, so we don't have like weird swimsuits.
I expected this out of Ralph, but not out of you, Dave.
What's that?
The up with the fashions.
This is how I stay in tune with culture. Other than that, I just live in a hole and I get to make comic books. The internet is my gateway.
So again, swimsuit edition out right now. As Dave mentioned, we have past covers in the back of the story. So basically you'll get a couple page story that is kind of interesting. It ends and literally doesn't say like to be continued, which is what we normally do. It says the story starts. So where does the story end, Dave?
Well, you're going to see more stuff like this. I'm not going to say this story and this character is going to particularly continue in there, but like some of the themes and creatures that we kind of get a hint at here, we're going to start seeing come up with the Tales of Terror issue quarterly coming up in the next few months. And also for Grimm Fairy Tales, like 63 and on. So you're like, this is kind of like a foreshadowing of what's to come.
A foreshadowing of what's to come. So yes, like we mentioned, this is very interesting. It's a couple page story that has like a mini short story in it. And then you just get to see pinup covers for the rest of the issue.
And we get new artists.
That's
why I love these ones. We get to try out like artists we haven't tried on books before. So you'll see a lot of new artists in here, as well as like our tried and true covered artists.
And a lot of, the merch that Mark Sells, our e-commerce manager, puts out, he'll use from this issue. So like last year, he put our cover C on the flyer. I think he used it for some other stuff. Basically, we'll use it for prints later on, but that's all during this time because it's all summer related.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's awesome out now. Well, today's all right, but it's getting there.
Yeah, today's all right.
I just see. It's all right.
So today talking about Grimm Fairy Tales swimsuit, and as Dave mentioned before, it's part 2 of a 4-part cosplay pinup series that we're doing for 2022.
Yep, we'll start on the horror one. We'll see in previews in 2 months. So we're getting the covers this month, and then you'll see them the following month.
I had something fun that I wanted to show you, and I don't know if I still have a picture. So it has been my lifelong dream to go to the Mall of America, fun fact. And I was there. I went on my layover home from Anaheim, and I meant to send you this picture and kept forgetting, so I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it, but they had a Mutant Ninja Turtles ride.
That's crazy. They have the full ride there?
That's awesome. They have little shells in the back. In the background, but I saw it and I was like, Dave will think this is so funny. And speaking of turtles, does Hershey make an appearance in any of the background of these images?
No, I didn't want to do like it would have been, again, that's like Shang. You put Hershey in a swimsuit and all the internet will break. I can't do that no, I mean we'll see him in some upcoming things. We'll see him. He's in Belle coming up, the Return of Scylla. So we'll see some Hershey.
Some more Hershey in the future. Well, a lot of people have volunteered to specifically be in this future issue. Jeff, who we also saw at Awesome Con this past weekend, he's happy to be a pool boy in a future issue. So make note, Dave.
I mean, maybe we even put it in the horror pinup. We'll see. Let's see what happens. There could be pools there, like pools of blood. I don't know. That's right.
We also saw Catherine this week. We saw Catherine, we saw Antonio, we saw Jeff, and we saw John Hazel. And then we gained a lot more VIP. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. We are excited to have you as a VIP. Yoo-hoo. Okay. So, Dave, any last things you want to share about Grimm Fairy Tales Swimsuit 2022 Special?
I hope you like it. I mean, that's the main thing is I hope you enjoy it. Like whether it's the story or the pinups, I hope you guys like it and keep getting them every year for now on forever.
We don't take those requests, Jeff. Like you get killed off, man. I actually had my gripes today in the office because we were talking about Stranger Things, and I was telling everybody the problem with Stranger Things is that they don't commit to killing the kids, and like that's the main part. So I'm like, they just bring back everybody.
There's a whole thing on that. There's a whole
backstory. That's what I was telling them at my office here. I was like, yeah, my other team will tell you that I have opinions on this, and they're like,
opinions, or I would maybe I don't know, an obsession, borderline craziness, but children are not safe around Amber is what we'll say.
Anyway, so you'll get the opportunity if you buy the swimsuit edition or you buy some other stuff, you'll get the opportunity if you're going to be at San Diego for Dave to sign it, because Dave will be at San Diego Comic-Con appearing all 4 days, whether he knows it or not, because I booked his flight, so he's going.
Thank you. I don't know where the hotel is. I don't know anything, but I'll be there.
But he'll be there. He'll be there at San Diego and he'll be there at New York, and I think those will be Dave's last 2 appearances for any kind of signings. Besides, obviously,
it seemed like forever.
Forever. Besides the Philly VIP event.
That's true. That's what, September 23rd, 24th?
Yes. More to come on that soon.
Awesome. Cool. I want to know about it. I got to buy my ticket.
Thank you, Dave. It was lovely having you on, as always. And next week I'll be talking about Odyssey, or I think does our graphic novel Grimm Fairy Tales Odyssey come out next week? Yeah, it's next week, but we have it here. So next week. And you know what's awesome is that we'll start taking these to shows. So I don't know. Do you want to come on NCW next Wednesday?
We'll actually read through all 300 pages of it.
You know, but in true fashion, we'll also take the other one. So, like, we'll start Age of Camelot. We'll go to Legacy. Let's throw the omnibus in there. Like, we got all the time in the world.
That works. There's not. Yeah, we can do it. Let's do it.
We are excited to see you guys at San Diego, though. So, thanks, Dave, and I will have you on soon.
Thank you. I'll see you.
So, again, today we were talking about Grimm Fairy Tales 2022 Swimsuit Edition. You guys don't know, Dave was on last NCW for last year and promised me that this only comes out every other year. And then this year it popped up on my calendar and I was like, it's all a lie. But that's because we decided to do a 4 cosplay issue release. Number 1 was May the 4th. Now it was the swimsuit. As Dave mentioned, we're going to be doing a more Halloween horror one and then a Christmas pinup. So going to be, or a Christmas/holiday pinup. So I guess I'll say that in case there's other holidays included in that. In the release today, you will get multiple covers in the backstory. Like I mentioned, there'll be a short story. There's 4 different covers to choose from. Casey, if you want to pop up those 4 covers right now, that'd be great. On top of that, then you'll get the covers in the background. Some of them are past covers and some of them are brand new, featuring some brand new artists, which is always awesome because it gives you the opportunity to collect from somebody else. So that is the rundown of Grimm Fairy Tales 2022 Swimsuit Special. As I mentioned, we will probably have Dave back on next week to talk about Grimm Fairy Tales graphic novel Odyssey, which we'll be taking to conventions very, very soon. So you'll have the perfect opportunity to buy it. Or if you do our graphic novel subscription, I believe it will be the next one on our graphic novel subscription. So make sure you get that. This week's winner for the NCW collectible cover, special person in my life who I love very dearly, although I feel like he needs to change his profile picture. So let's pop up the confetti. Congratulations, Robert Pete. I missed the car profile picture. If we make another car, I'll make sure to get it to you. But you will get our latest NCW collectible cover, which has a foil cover on it that is featuring our character of the month, which is Zodiac. If you want to hear more about Zodiac, make sure that you listen to our latest podcast, Everything Zen, dropped literally yesterday. You'll get a lot of insight into Zodiac. If you watched NCW last week, you will see on what Casey considers was a hilarious episode of just me and Ralph going back and forth for 45 minutes, I believe. but we talk about Zodiac, or as he calls at least 3 times on that, Death Force. And I'm like, no, completely different character, Ralph. Gotta tease him out. But Robert's he might put the car back. I might get this car back. I've made note of it. But I like this profile picture. I'm just teasing you. It makes me laugh. I loved you and your wife. They were fantastic at the VIP event. So again, next week's, so congratulations, Robert. Next week's stipulation, AKA what's happening now, is comment what your favorite virtual con activity you enjoy the most is. So whether it's comic book theater, is it the snail racing? Is it back when we did Jackbox? Do you like the guest interviews? Was it all the way back for our VIP event where we did D&D with Jason Metcalf? Like, comment what you really, really like below, so we can make sure we incorporate that into future VCons. And speaking of future VCons, there is not just one birthday this month. There are multiple birthdays, as you know. It was Jason's birthday. It was Ralph's birthday. It was my birthday. It was Di's birthday. Kiara's birthday is on Flag Day. Flag Day is a whole argument, actually, at the office. But our 17th birthday, which is not Casey's birthday, as Ralph said, it is our actual 17th birthday, is taking place for the VCon June 22nd and 23rd. And what's really special about that, actually, is the 23rd, I will most likely be appearing to help with the sales segment, which will be fun. So you will probably see me in the office. I haven't been on a VCon in a while, besides when I guest on the cosplay, but we'll get to hang out. So our next VCon, make sure you attend. There'll probably be party hats. I'm hoping there'll be cake. Stay tuned. I just realized that Zenescope's like half the age of me, so that kind of gives me anxiety a little bit moving forward. So on top of that, our next movie club's at the end of the month. It is The Crow, a fantastic film. If you have not seen this movie, Brandon Lee crushes it in this role. I really wish we could have seen him in other stuff because he is absolutely amazing. So come join the movie club crew, see the latest cover unveiled by Sun Kumanaki and the team. That will be taking place June 29th, so at the end of the month, also on a Wednesday. On top of that, Coffee with Casey and Noah every Monday, sometimes Tuesday if they're feeling spicy. You can hang out with them to talk about the industry news. They also usually talk about a featured graphic novel that they run into, and you guys can read along together. And Wednesday, every Wednesday at 3 p.m., you'll also have NCW, which is a lot of fun. I kind of think that's my quick rundown. Like I mentioned, Everything Zen just dropped, so head over to our YouTube channel to watch the latest episode of Everything Zen or wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's what it is. I'm going to look to see if I missed any other comments. Like I said, at AwesomeCon, we got to meet some of our awesome VIPs. We got to get new VIPs. So if you guys come to a convention, if you're planning on the next one, we won't be at Denver anymore. We're not planning on Fan Expo Chicago right now either, because unfortunately we just don't have the staff to do it. We're all kind of like pinned really tight. So we're going full force at San Diego. I'll be there. Casey will be there. Noah will be there. We'll have booth models of some of your favorite cosplay characters at Zenescope. Dave will be there. David will be there. Ralph will be there. I think Joe might be making an appearance. So it will be a jam-packed crew. Jason, everybody. Come tease us. Like, let's chat. There's going to be some very, very exclusive covers, exclusive collectible covers that you'll only be able to get some at San Diego, on top of obviously like the VCons that we resell. We are doing a Saturday exclusive cover that is going to be a Christmas in July cover. More to come on that. We're going to do a Christmas in July theme on Saturday at the booth. And then we'll be headed to C2E2 in Emerald City in August. And then you can start looking forward to the VIP event, which will be taking place the third weekend of September. So make sure that you cross all the T's, dot all the I's. It's going to be a lot of fun. We love you guys. So this was awesome. I'm so glad I got to see many of you at AwesomeCon. I cannot wait to see all the VIPs at San Diego. We're going to be booth 2301, booth 2301. Do not forget. Okay, that has been a special edition of NCW, the swimsuit edition of NCW. I maybe should have worn a bathing suit. I was thinking about that after the fact. Like, this is the opportunity to rock a bikini or one piece, or, bring a pool floaty, or my swim floaties, I guess you would also call it. My swim wings. It's true. This has been Amber with Zenescope, where you come for the covers, but you stay for the stories. I will see everybody next Wednesday at 3 p.m.